I think this is day 49. I'm on, was it Bay Springs Lake still? I'm leaving. There's the lock right there. Just my luck. It's an 80-foot drop, so it's going to be, you know, a long time to fill, a long time to discharge. But anyway, I left the cove, and there's a huge flotilla. We got 10 boats. And one of them is 90 foot long. So we're trying to make room for him to get past us. The lock's filling up. I don't know, it'll probably be a half hour. We have 10 boats going in, a lot of wind. We're trying to coordinate on the radio who's going to get, who's tying up where. And I'm like, hey, I'm single-handed. We got 15 knots of wind. I got no bow thrusters. I want the starboard side if I can. If not, I'll just wait for the next lock. But we're going to let that big, I think he's 90 feet. We're going to let him go through, or let him get in the front, and then I'll get behind him. But, bunch of boats. Nasty day. It's still 30-some degrees, high 30s. Like I said, about 15 knots of wind, and it's just nasty. I wish I had gloves. My hands are, my fingertips are going numb. This is, I gotta get down to the Keys quick. This is horrible. It's gonna be tight. I gotta wiggle between the big island and these two small islands and this little cut right here. Ugh. Ouch. All right, I just dropped the hook early. I'm gonna call it an early day. Right behind me is the John Rankin Lock and Dam. It's right there. I mean, it's just right there. It's 5 minutes away. On the other side of that lock and dam is the marina I want to try and get a courtesy car from to try and go to Walmart if I can get in there. Well, the flotilla that I was with, all 8 boats have reservations at that marina. So I was like, well, shoot, if all 80 of you guys are going to that marina, all 80 of you guys are going to be fighting over that car. So I'll just drop the hook. And I told them, see ya. They're like, where are you going? You know, they're all locking through. They got me on the radio. Where are you at, adventure? I'm like, no, don't worry about me. I'm gonna drop the hook. I'll see you guys another day. So on the anchorage guide, this is kind of tricky to get in here. I'm at an anchorage called Little Island, right above the lock. Now it's 3 islands. There's the big island, there's an itty bitty tiny island, and there's a little small island. And there's a green and red buoy right in the middle of these 2 islands right here. There's also a channel to come in up here. The way the wind's facing, I really wanted to anchor up there. But I read online that just recently a boat got hung up. I mean, he got lifted up and got stuck. I don't know what kind of haul he had, but he got stuck on a piling over there, and he was 2.5 feet out of the water. So I'm not going over there. No, I'm just going to stay right here. Not going to worry. Now, I'm already on a stump. If you look back here, these are all stumps all the way back. Those are all tree stumps sticking out of the water. So we're in a stumpy area. I dropped my hook, I backed into it, I set it, and when the wind blew me, you know, this way, my chain's going that way and it's tight, and my anchor's way over here. So I'm like, oh, all right, so I'm wrapped around a stump already. Shouldn't be a problem. Either I pull the whole stump out of the mud, or I'll figure it out. But I'm going to keep my anchor track on, so that way I can see if I go around it. This happened once before in Lake Michigan during that storm. I went around like a shipwreck or something, or something was down. I could hear my chain dragging on it. I went around it like 9 times, so then I had to go back around it the other day. So what this thing does is it records as the wind blows me around. It records on the GPS everywhere I went. So if I have that problem, I can just backtrack and get out of it. But so here's the entrance. I came down the channel. I was on the phone with the marina, so I did a little circle right there waiting. You can come in here, you can, but that's what that guy got hung up at. So I read a review that said don't do that. Come in between these 2 islands. You got the 2 small islands here, the big one here. As soon as you leave the channel, I think I had like 3 feet. It went from like 16 foot to 3 feet under the keel like that. And I almost backed out. Then it went to 6, 8, 9, 10, 10 and a half. I think the anchor's at 10 foot, and I'm at 9.5 foot under my keel. So don't get discouraged. When you leave the channel, it's gonna get real shallow, and they start getting deep again. But that's that. Little island, lots of wind. I'm not gonna put a stern anchor out. The wind's gonna come from this direction all night. It's gonna die eventually. I don't know what pool I'm in. I don't know. These are labeled like you have a lock and a lock. And it's like pool D, pool C, pool B, pool A or something. I don't know what pool I'm in. I don't know, how much the water shifts back and forth as the lock's open and closed, but I shouldn't go anywhere. I'm not going to put a stern anchor out. That should be fine. All right, it's windy. It's freezing cold. I'm going to enclose the cockpit. I don't know if I told you yet or not. The canvas track right here. You get panels, and you put the panels in, and they snap everywhere. And I'm going to screen the entire cockpit in with roll-up windows. That way I can heat it. Like now, I could have the heater on now, but it also blocked the wind. But also too, when you're down in the mangroves, down the in the Caribbean or something, all the biting flies and mosquitoes, you can just roll the windows up and let the the screens. You know what a screen in the patio is. But that's that. I'm cold. I'm gonna find some dinner. Catch you around. All right. Good morning. It's morning 50, I believe. I'm leaving those little tiny islands. Here's those markers that get in. There's a little red marker and a little green marker. And it gets kind of shallow, like right about now. It's going to get real shallow. I remember it got scary shallow there for about 5 feet, then it opened back up again. Here it is, it's getting shallow now. Anyway, so I tucked back in there last night, if you recall, because I had a flotilla of like 8 boats I was with all day yesterday, and they were all going to the marina I wanted to use the courtesy car at. So I decided to drop the hook. Here it is, getting shallow. Ooh, man, 2 feet. It's just a habit to just coast through here. 2 feet under the keel, and there it goes. Now we're dropping back into 16. All right, just like that. All right. So I dropped the hook to let them get ahead of me so they can go to the marina, use the courtesy car, go to Walmart, all that stuff. I figured if I went there, I wouldn't have access to the car. And that's all I want, is access to the car to go to Walmart. So I called the lock right here, and I said, hey, what's your schedule looking like? Can I lock down? And he goes, oh yeah. He said, we got 10 boats that just exited the lock upriver, and they're all coming down. And just come on down, pick a spot, hang out in the lock till they all get here, and I'll lock all 10 of you guys, or 11 of you guys down at one time. I'm like, man, I guarantee you, out of those 10 boats, 10 of them are going to go to that marina, and they're all going to jump in the courtesy car. So I'll be in the same boat I was when I stopped here. So well, I'm going to try it. It may not happen. It may not happen. Like I said, this is kind of barren down here. Unless you stop at marinas every night. Not every night, but unless you stop at marinas, I don't see anywhere on any of the charts, any of the maps, anything, even using Google Street Maps, everything. I don't see anything where you can just drop the hook, jump in a dinghy, go to shore and get groceries like I've been doing. You've got to get a courtesy car. There's no Uber down here. You're in the middle of nowhere. There's no... I don't think there's any kind of like a delivery service for food, nothing. So that's kind of gets kind of barren down here. But I got plenty of food in reserves. I haven't touched my canned goods yet. I haven't touched my emergency ramen yet. I have 1 month, maybe a little more of MREs packed away in the boat just for emergencies. So I still have probably a week, maybe more, of frozen food in the deep freezer. So. I mean, I should be good for a month and a half minimum. That's without fishing, if it comes push comes to shove. But like they say, when you're in Rome, right? So there's a marina right here. There's a Walmart right here. They got a courtesy car. I might as well stop. But I don't really have to. So I don't know. That's that. I'm going down here to go sit in the lock and wait on these guys to show up. All right, I'm in the John Rankin lock. I'm waiting on like 10 other boats. I don't know where they're at. Lockmaster said just tie up and wait on them. I don't know if you can see this. I really don't think you're allowed out of the boat. I'm not going to get out and walk over there. I've never even asked that question, but I don't think you're allowed out of the boat. But here, I'm not sure the drop. It's not a very big drop compared to the 80-foot drop the other day. Let me extend you a little bit. All right, so here we are here. Here's our pool. A little dam, a little spillway over there. There's the gates. I'm the first one in. I took the closest pin to the gate, and there's the downriver pool. I don't know if you can tell. That looks like a heck of a drop. That really does. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, like I said, so much for hanging out at anchor and waiting for those boats to get away from me. Now I'm gonna be stuck with 10 more boats, and we're probably all going to the same place. So, oh well. That's that. I'll find some busy work. All right, they're probably too far away now to see anything. But look at the wake that these boats are tossing at 5 knots. Right, we just exited the lock. They're still picking up speed. They're probably going to pick up there at 2 knots. They're moving pretty good. This flotilla of like 10 boats entered the lock at 5+ knots, throwing 3.5 foot waves. Beat me to death on the wall. I was tied up waiting on them. And then, I mean, look at this. This is nothing compared to what they entered the lock with, the wake they're throwing. So even the boats in the group that tied up before the boat in front, behind them, they tied up, and then their buddy entered in the lock at 5.5, 6 knots, throwing 3 foot waves, beat that boat to death. They tied up, the boat behind them entered the lock, beat that boat to death. I mean, come on, guys. You need to check your seamanship, seriously. You approach the lock at 2.5 knots tops. You enter the lock no more than 1.2 knot. Just call it 1 knot. That's it. You don't toss a wake in a lock. I couldn't believe it. All 10 boats came in that lock just rolling waves and just gunning it in reverse trying to stop. I'm like, really? They should have slowed down at least a half mile away. Approached the lock at 3, entered at 1, but no. Check your seamanship, guys. Come on. I guess that's a no-go for a fuel stop and a grocery stop. Every one of those boats in that lock just called the marina that I'm going to. I'm listening to the radio chatter, and they're all turning in. I just got on the horn, and I asked them what the water depth are they seeing on the approach, because the marina told me minimum 6 foot, and they're saying no. The deepest they've seen so far is 5.2, and I'm not doing that. I draft.
But we can. This is Goldilocks. Thanks for leading the pack for a while.
I draft right around 5 foot, so I'm not going to do that. So that's it. No fuel, no groceries for a month. I'm just going to keep going. I'm going to drop the hook up here. There's supposed to be a little, it's real shallow. I can see the bottom on each side of the channel in the Tennessee Tom. I'm going to drop the hook up here and take the dink to the shore to see if I can chain it up somewhere. And if I can chain it up somewhere, I'll come back and get the scooter, and then I'll take the scooter into town. And I think it's an 8-mile round trip. I see like a little Dollar General dollar store, and I'll get some, you know, something. And I don't know about fuel. Yeah, I mean, I'm good on fuel. I'm excellent on fuel, but you might as well get it while you can. But so that's that. I'm not seeing any stops for me anyway with a 5 foot draft. I'm sure people do it somewhere. I don't know where they do it, and I'm sure I'll find out. But as of now, I don't see any stops for another month. It's getting pretty barren down here. All right, that's that. We'll see how it works out. Let you know. All right. I don't know if it's worth turning around and stopping back there or not. I just called 4 marinas ahead of me, heading south, and only one of them that I called has exactly 5 foot 2 inches. That's all they have for water, and that's it all the way in. And they have never seen anything less than 5 foot 2 inches. That's it. And I draft right at 5 foot, maybe 4'9", maybe 5'1", but who knows how much weight I have. I don't know. It says 4'9" on the manual. I never got out the tape measure and measured it. So I'm going to call my draft 5 foot. So I'll be coming in with that much water under the boat, and that's it. Same with here. They have 5 foot 2 inches of water, but they got tree stumps everywhere. Yeah, I don't know. The 3 marinas. Three marinas in front of me have less than 3.5 feet of water. I think one's got 3.8. So just keep that in mind. It gets real shallow down here. My draft is shallow. A 5 foot draft is a shallow draft for a sailboat. So I don't know what a lot of these sailboats are doing. I'm not sure. But that's that. I'm going to go 4 more days, and I'm going to have to stop. I'm going to have to. Their price per foot to spend the night is like 30 cents higher than these guys over here, but it is what it is. This place is packed. I just watched 10 boats go in there, so there's not going to be a courtesy car or anything available over here. It may be the same way down here, but I don't know. Shoot. I may check this anchorage up here, like I said a minute ago, and drop the hook, go to shore, see if I hit the dollar store, see if that works out. I'm not sure. I'll figure it out. It's an adventure, right? I mean, like I said, I got emergency food. I probably have over a month in emergency food, and I got fuel. I mean, this boat just sips of fuel, so I should be fine if it push came to shove. But that's that. Keep that in mind. You start getting in the Tennessee Tom. I've called a lot of marinas in the past week, and yeah, 3.5 foot is about the draft. And if you're in a cruiser, you might be able to make that. But there's a ton of tree stumps. I'm looking at 100 tree stumps, 200 tree stumps. There's a ton of tree stumps out here. So be careful getting in these tight marinas. All right, I'm going to venture off that way. See if I can drop the hook. All right, guys. You know, if I recall, when I first started this trip, I had no problem just motoring through 16 inches of water, 14 inches of water. I remember those days. Like, I got 14 inches of water. This is great. Man, after you hit bottom hard a few times, it kind of, So I'm trying to get in here to anchor. The marina I wanted to stop at is over there. I'm trying to get in over here. There's a boat ramp, there's a park, right? There's a dock here. I'm gonna try and drop the hook back in here a little further. I know when these trawlers start leaving in the morning, they're gonna create a heck of a wake. There's no protection back here whatsoever. But anyway, long story short, I'm leaving the channel. I've tucked in here like 4 times trying to get in here, and it'll get to about 16 inches of water under my boat. And I throw it in reverse and back out, and go up or down the river a little bit and try it again. And then it kind of dawned on me, it kind of humps up. So it'll get to 16 inches of water under your boat, and now it's at 3 feet. So it kind of humps up and gets a little deeper. So I'm letting the wind blow me in at 0.4 knots, and that's it. It may take me an hour to get back here. I'm not touching the throttle. I got my hand on it ready to throw it in reverse. But I'm gonna let the wind blow me in here at 0.4 knots. I want to go another, I don't know, 300 yards maybe. Drop the hook back there, take the dink to the marina. I'll dump my fuel cans in the boat, fill up the fuel cans at the marina, put them back on the boat. And the lady told me there's a guy at the marina that lives there. For a fee, you can hire him, jump in his car, he'll take you to Walmart. So I'll probably do that. Whew. It's just funny, because I remember those days. 16 inches, plenty of water, gun it. I remember that. I remember gunning the boat and looking at it like, okay, I got 1.5 feet, plenty of water, don't worry about it. Now I know better. Now, like I said, you drill bottom and fall over the wheel and fall on the floor in 23 feet of water, so now I know better now. But yeah, that's Midway Marina, by the way. 5 foot of water coming in. This whole area is full of tree stumps. The anchorage review said you could anchor down here somewhere by the boat ramp. One guy said he had 7 foot, one guy said he had 10 foot. I don't know. I'm gonna call it 7 foot. But anyway, it's 2 feet deeper than the marina. So I'm gonna try and get back in here, drop the hook, and then make my way to the marina in the dink. All right, man, that's that. Now I'm at 0.3 knots. I should probably set the autopilot at 0.3 knots. Nah, I'm just kidding. Yeah, the kayak is doing all the work. The wind's behind me, pushing me in. All right, let's see how this works out. All right, just in case you're wondering, you're curious, I made it. I didn't make it very far. I didn't want to risk or push my luck. There is a pier of some kind. I think that's a park. I'm gonna, that was the original plan, tie the dink up there and try and get into town. There's a boat ramp and a dock over there. I think that's all park right there. They said hiking trails, nature center, all kinds of stuff. There's the marina. I'm gonna take the dink over there. That's all stumps out there. I passed up stumps. I don't see them now, but they're sticking out of the water. There's stumps out here in front of me. I went around them. I came in. There's no channel. There's nothing marked. I came in south of that, I don't know what it is. It's not a no wake buoy, it's a danger buoy or something. I can't, it's old, I can't read it. I came in like 3 or 4 times trying to feel the water out. I came in down here, came in and turned. The water kept getting deeper. I'm sitting in, I don't recall, I gotta walk all the way back over there to check. I think I'm sitting in 9 feet of water. It's 9 foot deep here. It's 6 foot deep over there, so it gets a little deeper. I didn't want to risk it. I didn't want to keep pushing it. I mean, the dink ride to the marina from here versus the dink ride to the marina, if I close this distance halfway, it's nothing, so why risk it? Why hit a tree stump and break your prop, bend it up, ruin your trip, destroy everything? Then you're done. You're back to square one again. So that's that. Get the dink out, hit the marina. Water's getting muddy, FYI. I'm going to make a rain catchment system. I brought material with me to make it. I did not make it. I actually took it out the other day at that one anchorage. I was there for a week, and it's just so big. I have to measure the boat and build it on land, and then zip it up on the boat. It was just way too, it would have fell in the water and everything. So I have no rain catchment system set up yet. I'm going to try and make water, not here, but I'll make water in a day or two and see if the water gets any clearer or not. If not, if I get a ride to Walmart, I may pick up one of those 5-gallon water cans in the camping section, the Coleman 5-gallon water cans. And every time I stop to do something, I may run in, grab 5 gallons of water, and just dump it in my tank, just to have, you know, extra 5 gallons a day or whatever. I don't know. We'll see. I think I'm going to be here for 2 days, just provisioning. Unprotected. I'm going to fill everybody's wake. So if you stop here, expect that. I'm not hiding behind anything. I'm just going to try and get provisions and continue on. And this should be the last stop for the next 400 and some miles until I hit the Gulf. All right. Yeah, we'll see how it works out. All right, day 51. Just pulled the hook. I'm just kind of floating here. Midway Marina is right there. I anchored off. There's a campground right here, some kind of park. I anchored off. There's a pier right there. There's a boat ramp down there. The anchorage guide says there's a good anchorage down there. I couldn't make it down there. It got too shallow. I have 5 feet under my keel. That's kind of iffy. You know, it goes like 3 to 5 as I swing around. I just pulled the anchor up, and I had it's all covered in mud and clay, so I scraped it off with the spike pole. I noticed big chunks of like wood were on it, so I was like under a tree stump or under a bunch of roots, and there are tree stumps everywhere. I actually passed tree stumps on the way out of here. There's one right there. I'm gonna go right past it, sticking up out of the water. So be very careful coming in here, but it is doable. I draft 5 feet. There's my approach. I came in, passed up that. I think that was, yeah, that's a wooden pole marker, and there's some kind of buoy down here. I don't know what it is. It might be a caution buoy. You can't really read. It's not legible. I came in a few times. It got too shallow, so I moved down a little bit. And I got in. I had 1 foot of water under the keel here. Then it opened up to like 2 feet, 3 feet. I got to 5 feet over here, 4 feet. I dropped the hook over here. But yeah, I highly recommend Midway Marina. They got a courtesy car. I got fuel there. I used their car, went to Walmart. Even though I didn't stay there because I bought fuel, my fuel cans, I just filled the boat up, took the cans over in the dink. Didn't charge me to drop the dink off, and I said use the car and go to Walmart, come back. I went back last night, ate at the restaurant. Very good, very good. I'm gonna stay another night just to eat there again. Yeah, it's always good to have someone cook food for you versus trying to scrounge up some boat food, But so I contacted the lock, and immediately, if you read my post on Facebook, how many boats are with you? How many boats can you get with you? They want to fill that chamber up, period. So I'm heading to the lock right now. There's a 99% chance I'm gonna be sitting in the lock, tied up, waiting for more boats to come. Unless there are no more boats coming, but he knows, because the lock upriver tells him how many boats, so they know how many boats are coming. So we'll see how that works out. But day 51, Midway Marina, highly recommend the stop. They have 5 foot of water getting in there. That's it. They got 5 foot of water. And a lot of tree stumps. I see hundreds of tree stumps all around the marina. So you have to call them, and they will stand there and watch your boat and tell you how to get through there. 2 marinas I called were like that. They said call in advance, and we'll stand out at the end of the dock and we'll watch your boat and tell you left, right, no, you're screwed up, you're gonna hit a, it's very shallow and scary out here. But that's that. I'm out, day 51. This is the day I made the post about possibly motoring all night. The next usable anchorage on my charts is very far away, and if you read the post, you'll see it. How there's so many boats in a tight little pool, and there's only one spot to stop. So it may be wise to motor at night. It's foggy at night because of the hot water and the cold air. It gets in the 30s at night, but I got the radar, so I can motor at night, and then as they pull the hook in the morning, I can slide in. But hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully I can find a spot to drop the hook here in a little bit. So that's that. I'm out, day 51. All right, I'm in the Fultan lock. I'm secure, tied up. and we're standing by waiting for more boats. I don't know how long we'll be here. I'll contact the lockmaster here in a minute because he knows where the other boats. I would imagine it's going to be an hour wait until they get down here. But little spillway there, backside of Fultan Lock and Dam. Yeah, so the Dirty Dozen, 12 of these like this, and they're going to keep you congested and packed tight like sardines. That's probably why everybody's going so fast. These guys, they fly into these locks, you know, 6+ knots in the lock. They're taking off and they're just gunning it to the next lock. I don't know. I think it's a race to get out of here, I think. I don't know. We'll see what today brings. But this is the second time I've had to sit around in a lock and wait on more boats to fill the lock up before they blow you down or drop you out. It's blow you up, drop you down. There you go. That's that. I guess I'll prep lunch or something. See you.